3 gunshots in a pharmacy parking lot. 2 men fell. One was a husband trying to save his marriage. The other was the man destroying it. The woman standing between them would later say she loved them both. 3 people arrived at that Walgreens. Only one would walk away unchanged. 15 years. 2 daughters. Rob and Candy Hall had built what looked like a solid life together. California gym romance turned long-haul marriage. But by 2010, the cracks were spreading. Rob had cheated. Candy had just been fired from a law office under allegation she'd stolen from her boss. So they did what struggling couples do. They moved. Meridian, Idaho. A fresh start. It wasn't. Enter Emmett Corrigan, 30 years old, freshly past the bar, running his own criminal defense practice. Confident, aggressive, the kind of good-looking that made people nervous. He hired Candy in October 2010. 2 weeks later, they were sleeping together. Candy later described his pursuit. He would show up at my office every morning, email constantly all day long.
One morning, we went to pick up some items for the office, and that's when he kissed me.
What Emmett failed to mention was that he had a pregnant wife, Ashley, and 4 children waiting at home. Emmett had a plan. He just hadn't told Candy what it was. Rob's suspicions grew impossible to ignore. His gut told him something was wrong from the moment Candy started working for Emmett. By January 2011, he confronted her about deleted text messages. "Good luck with Emmett," he wrote in a bitter email. "Once the honeymoon is over, you'll be all alone. Karma is a bitch." The confrontations kept escalating. One parking lot standoff ended with Emmett posting about it on Facebook, mocking Rob publicly for backing down. He wanted everyone to see. Then February, a late-night text from Emmett to Candy. Rob found it.
"You win. I can't compete. He's young. He's good-looking. He's an attorney. What good am I?"
Emmett continued his public humiliation campaign. Meanwhile, his pregnant wife Ashley planned a special anniversary dinner, hoping to reconnect with a husband who had grown increasingly distant. March 11th, 2011. That afternoon, Candy sat in a divorce attorney's office. Emmett was with her, not hiding anymore. That night, after another fight with Rob, she drove to Walgreens to meet her lover. They left her BMW in the parking lot and took his truck somewhere secluded. They had sex while her car sat empty under the pharmacy lights. Meanwhile, Candy's daughter drove past that same Walgreens. She saw her mother's car. No sign of her mother. She called her father. Rob went looking.
When he finally reached Candy by phone, a man's voice interrupted. "What's up, Chief?" Emmett. Calm. Almost amused. "Yeah, she's with me. We're talking about life. You got a problem with that?"
At 10 p.m., all 3 of them stood in that Walgreens parking lot. Rob had moved his gun from its holster to his hoodie pocket before getting out of the car. He told himself it was just in case. Later, he wouldn't remember making that choice.
Emmett didn't wait. He started with the insults, mocking Rob's income, his job, his worth as a man. "That's how much I make in a week, Rob. You don't make anything."
Rob brought up Ashley, the pregnant wife at home. Emmett shoved her. Candy stepped between them. She thought it was over. Then she heard what sounded like balloons popping. She turned. Both men were on the ground. Emmett Corrigan died from gunshots to the head and chest. Rob survived a grazing wound to his skull but suffered traumatic brain injury. He has no memory of pulling the trigger. The trial hinged on Candy's testimony. It didn't go well. Her statements were so contradictory that the judge, 31 years on the bench, called it unprecedented. The jury convicted Rob of second-degree murder. 30 years. He remains incarcerated until at least 2028. Candy's past finally caught up with her. She pleaded guilty to stealing over $32,000 from her former employer. 6 months served. Ashley Corrigan buried her husband and raised 5 children alone. Eventually, she found healing through writing. A blog called The Moments We Stand and a nonprofit for trauma victims.
My husband should have been home fighting for me. That's been the hardest thing, to know that I wasn't enough.
3 people walked into that parking lot. 1 died. 1 went to prison. 1 had to live with being the reason.